Let me go ahead and start by offering a welcome to, this is the Edge for Vets Connection Workshop. My name is Tom Murphy, and I am the director of the Human Resiliency Institute at Fordham that offers the Edge for Vets program. We have a wonderful assortment of veterans and mentors from our partner companies today. Let me move forward to the agenda and share with you what we're going to be doing today. This is a follow-up, of course, to the workshop that we did 2 weeks ago. And at that time, we provided an orientation that explained what Edge for Vets was, how the program worked, the benefits that veterans got from it. Well, today is the follow-up to that with the connection session. And you see up top, step one. This is the work that you've been doing, veterans. In the interim, since our last workshop, we gave everybody an invitation to the online course that gave you a chance to identify your strengths from the military and create a plan for success. And we invited you to bring your draft for that today. Some of you have actually completed it, which is great. So we're inviting you to bring your plan for success as we move to step two, which is to connect you to reps at our partner companies. So the idea with Edge for Vets is prep, teach you to translate your strengths in the military, and then step two, connect you to reps at the partner companies who can offer the job opportunities. You see the third bullet down there, meet HR reps today. We've got each of our partner companies has a contact person that we work with who will be talking about the opportunities at their company, sharing what their company does and the opportunities that are available to you, how you can apply to them, et cetera, et cetera. And then we'll talking about an action plan where you can start thinking in terms of matching the skills and interests that you identified for yourself when you created your plan for success, matching those skills and interests to job opportunities. And here's the important part. We're going to be sending you the contact information for all of the HR folks that are working with us. Many of them you'll meet today. You can, take notes, and we encourage you to do that. But following this workshop, we're going to be sending you the contact information, and we're going to be sending your contact information, vets, to the HR reps. So actually you win twice. We work to build a bridge between the veterans and the HR reps, and we give each of you contact information for the other and encourage you to network and grow your relationship. So that's one of the benefits that you get from taking this course. And by the way, let me just say, when I say vets, we're talking about veterans, but we're talking National Guard, transitioning service personnel, spouses. The Edge Vets program is all inclusive in terms of helping military professionals, service professionals identify their strengths and make contacts for jobs that can lead to careers. Let me say, finally, on the agenda, you see at the bottom, I'm going to ask you, everybody who's on the call today, to put your name and email into the chat. This is how we're going to be able to stay in touch with you. So if you'll put your name and email, and if you're a vet or, like I say, National Guard, transitioning soldier, et cetera, put vet next to your name and email. And if you are with one of our partner companies or a guest today, I'm going to ask you to put mentor next to your name. And again, critical to do that so that we can know who is on the call today and we can stay in touch with you. All right, let me pull into focus what we've done so far and where we're going from here. The goal with Edge for Vets, this is a term I talked about last time, but I want to underscore it. Whole objective here for you vets is clarity, to help you get clarity on the strengths that you've developed in the military, be able to express them in your plan for success, and learn how to translate those strengths, which include values and skills that you develop, into tools for a job that can lead to a career. And then once you do that, in step one in Edge for Vets, Step two is we connect you to the partner companies who offer job opportunities for you to get started on a career path. So you see down below, Prep and Connect. If you think about Edge for Vets, that's what we do. Prep, teach you to translate your strengths in the military. Step two, connect you to job opportunities where you can apply those strengths. Now, saying that, what I'd like to do is I'm going to show you a short video because we've had, since 2011, when we started Edge for Vets, we've had 1,500 vets come through the program in 8 states. And we put together a little video, and I'll say sing the praises of, because it's a music video that highlights some of those success stories, some of the vets who've been through the program and now are in the workforce, applying their skills to move forward with their career and helping their companies. So it's a short video, but let me just take a second and show it to you.
So come on, America, what do you say? Let's get our vets a job today. When the towers toppled in New York, they were DC and Shanksville too. Where young men and women answered the call, they were faithful through and through. From Iraqi sands to Afghanistan, their courage knows no bounds. Our young vets have the skills, America, to turn this country around. You never waver, vets. You were true blue. Now that you have the need, it's time we do. And 2 million strong are young vets, loyal to our nation. They've got the edge, America, to lead the next generation. You never waver, vets. You were true blue. Now that you have the need, it's time we do. Our young vets are home now, in waves they have arrived. Let's put them to work, America. All they want is a 9 to 5. You never waver, vets. You were true blue. Now that you have the need, it's time we do. Come on, America. What do you say? Let's get our vets a job today. Come on, America. What do you say? Let's get our vets a job today. Come on, America. What do you say? Let's get our vets a job today. Let's get our vets a job today.
Okay, so you see, I'm talking about singing the praises of a group of our vets who've been through Edge for Vets and now are out in the workforce, using their military skills to help the company and move forward professionally. What I would like to do is, you saw in the video Annie, and I'm trusting we have Annie with us today. Annie is not just one of our alumni Edge for Vets success stories who got a job with a bank, but she's with a bank, Standard Chartered Bank, which is one of our partners to help us grow Edge for Vets. And Annie is our coordinator from Standard Chartered Bank that works with us. And again, the whole goal is to help you vets make connection with a job that can not just get you a job for the short term, but a job that can lead to a career and set you on a pathway to success in life. And certainly Annie has done that. And Annie, at the risk of embarrassing you, I'll take that risk. We're highlighting you here, Annie. What I'd like you to do is just share with us, you're at Standard Chartered Bank, but I'd like you to share with all of the vets participating today so they can see through your example how this can be possible for them, that they can identify their military strengths through a program like Edge for Vets, get connected to a job, and then have an opportunity to apply those strengths and move forward in their career. And I'd love you just to take a second, Annie, if you could just share how the military strengths that you developed in the Marines are helping you today in your career in banking. Can you talk to that for a moment, Annie?
Hey, Tom. Hope you can hear me okay?
Yep, can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Well, I didn't think you would call on me so early on, but always ready. Very excited to join the program today. And I have a very long list of colleagues who are on the call as well, representing Standard Chartered. But as you mentioned, Tom, I am an alumni of Edge for Vets. I participated in the program, I think roughly 7 years ago now, and I was hired out of Edge for Vets by Standard Chartered. For those who don't know me, have never met me in any of the prior workshops, my background is I was an aircraft mechanic in the Marine Corps. And one of the big things that you have to do as an aircraft mechanic is to have be very meticulous and have a lot of attention to detail. And that's something that I use every day in my job. It was one of the things that I was able to use right away since day one at Standard Chartered, just that ability to focus on, the minor details, not make careless mistakes, and have an overall that motivation and be mission focused and goal oriented. And those are all things that I brought from my time in the Marine Corps. Definitely my work ethic, I think, is something that a lot of the veterans on the call, on the workshop today can relate to. So there's a lot that we learn in the military. There's a lot that we do that you can apply to your civilian careers. And I'm looking forward to discussing those examples a little bit more with the group later on.
Annie, thank you. And we'll give you a chance to introduce your colleagues from Standard Chartered when we get to that section. But let me just thank you for highlighting how it's possible to take your military strengths, get clarity on them, be able to express them in a way where you can go into an interview and have an HR person who maybe has no military experience understand that you can bring great value, and then give you that chance, open the door for you. And look what you've done. You've taken this attention to detail, this whole range of strengths that you developed, and you've applied them and put yourself on a career path. So thank you for that. Let me just say, as we move along here, anybody who just joined us, please go into the chat and put your name and your contact information, and whether you're a vet or mentor, so that we can keep in contact with you. Anybody who hasn't done that yet, just a housekeeping item. Let me say also one more that you saw in the video, example of an Edge for Vets graduate who's out there doing great things in the civilian sector. In this case, for the US VA, Marco. Now I know Marco is going to join us. I'm not sure if he has been able to log on yet, but are you there, Marco? I'd like you, if you are, I'd like you, as Annie did, just share how your military strengths that you developed, in your case in the Army, you're drawing upon those to perform at a high level for the VA. So it looks like Marco has not joined us yet, but if he does in the course of the workshop, we'll give him a chance to talk about his strengths. Let me just highlight, though, what the plan for success is. And when I say identify your strengths in the military, this is what I'm talking about. You had a chance, all of the vets, for the past 2 weeks since the introductory workshop, to work on a plan for success. And for the benefit of the mentors, this is what that plan for success gives them a chance to break out. It has 4 parts to it: a vision statement, a value statement, a skills statement, and an action plan. The vision statement, of course, is to identify the kind of work you want to do for the career and the life that you want. Last workshop, we talked about the values that you developed in the military, values that can make you valuable to companies. We talked about the skills that you developed, things you got good at in the military, carrying out your duties, and how those skills can help you land a job in the civilian sector. And finally, an action plan. I'm going to talk more about the action plan later, but what I'd like to do is just go to the part about the vision piece, because we get a lot of vets who grapple with this, frankly. They know they're good at things. They know they've got skills. They know that they've got great competencies, but they're not always clear on how they want to apply those or how they want to aim in the civilian sector and go for a job and go for a career. They don't have that absolute clarity on the kind of job they want for the career they want. So developing a vision statement gives you that ability. And I know we've got, I asked Pedro, at the risk of embarrassing you and putting you on the spot, Pedro Rodriguez is with us, one of our vets participating in this cohort. And he allowed me to share a sample. This is what he's been doing, as many of you have been the past 2 weeks working on your plan for success. We ask you in that vision statement to identify duties you had in the military and then what you enjoyed related to those duties. Because if you can identify duties that you had and what you enjoy doing, that can be a lead in to the kind of passion you have that you can apply for a career and a job. And down below, you see in his vision statement, this is what Pedro wrote. And by the way, all of our vets, Pedro said I can share this with you. I'll send you this after the workshop today. So those of you who are still working on your plan for success, you'll have this as a guide. But I just wanted to give Pedro a chance to highlight the kind of job and career that he wants to go for. And you see in his vision statement, I won't read the whole thing, but I'll just summarize parts of it. What you say, Pedro, is that you enjoy working with facts. You enjoy solving problems. Up above, you see that you identified that you had computer skills and office technology skills with data entry systems, et cetera, that you developed in the military. And you enjoy working with those facts and you enjoy solving problems. And you say also that you can be set on your own. Somebody can say, Pedro, this is the task we need. And you can go off on your own. You can either work alone or work as a team to accomplish that solving problem issue. And this gives you, I think, a direction, Pedro. I'd like to let you explain it. Why don't you share with us, based on what you did in the military and passions that you have, what kind of work would you like to do? You say here, education, government, banking, finance, et cetera. Why don't you just share with the group the kind of work that you would like to do for the kind of career that you would like to have?
All right. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Pedro. Yeah.
All right, welcome, thank you. All right. The kind of work that I'm looking for, I have a bachelor's degree in economics, and I want to put that to work and develop expertise and mastery, get a master's and doctorate. I'm interested particularly in statistics, working with numbers, especially we're still working with numbers. Again, along lines of economics. With economics, again, with economics, I could be an investment analyst. I could be a market researcher. Chiefly, I like to work with numbers and information and data and computers. And also, I'm a very serious photographer. I'm very interested in being a photographer. That's the artistic side. Yeah, that's the artistic aspect of me.
Pedro, let me just check here, because it sounds like you certainly are a Renaissance man. You've got all the technical skills, and you combine that with art and a passion for photography. You mentioned, banking, finance, communications, engineering. You have a lot of opportunity, and the reason I wanted to highlight your vision statement as an example, Pedro, for everybody, is that this VETS is what you want to do for yourself. You want to get clarity on what you did in the military and what you enjoyed as a lead in to the kind of career that you would like to embark upon. And what we seek to do, I'm going to, Pedro, thank you for that. And thank you for being a, a guide for others in the cohort who can learn from you.
All right.
Let me you see there a sample. This is what you produce. The online gives you a chance to create statements in those 4 areas, and you emerge with statements in those 4 areas in a nice clean, plan for success. Once you do this, we then connect you, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. The bulk of the workshop today, this is the connection session. We're going to be talking about taking that preparation that you did in advance of today and giving you insight into ways that you can apply it. So let me say we've got several of our companies with us today. And by the way, I can hear some background noise. If there's anybody, please make sure that you're muted. And then when you speak, you can unmute yourself. In terms of the employer partner companies that we have, we've got a group today. And I'd like to start with Macquarie. Is Steve Giaconetti there? Steve, we're going to start with you. And what I'd like you to do is just tell us a little bit about Macquarie. What I'm going to do is let me go to this slide for Macquarie. This is the cover page on your career page on the website. And is Steve there? I'd like you to talk, Steve, about Macquarie. I'm going to give each company 3 to 5 minutes to talk about what they do and talk about the way that vets can learn about opportunities with you and the process for how they would go about exploring those opportunities.
Thanks, Tom. Yep. So my name is Steve Giaconetti. I work in technology at Macquarie. And just for background, for anyone who's not familiar with us, we're a financial services firm. We're headquartered out of Sydney, Australia. We have about 17,000 staff globally, of which there's about 3,000 in the US. Our largest office in the United States is in New York, where we have about 1,100 staff. So there's always a good amount of opportunity, career opportunity within Macquarie in our New York office. The interesting, I've been with Macquarie for about 10 years now. It's a very diversified financial services firm. So we do everything from asset management to investment banking to commodities to fixed income. And all of those kind of vertical business units are represented in the New York office, as well as all the support organizations, which is where I sit, technology, HR. I've got friends from Macquarie with me on the call here, from risk management, from legal. Sorry, I have another phone ringing. Let me shut that down. So there's generally opportunities, across those different areas, those different kind of skill areas. And this page that Tom has up is the right place to start. That job search there, can surface those opportunities. And what we offer, or what we like to kind of invite people through Edge for Vets is, to maintain a network with us. Those of us who are on this call with you, we're here to work with you, and you'll have our contact information. So if you see an opportunity that's interesting to you, reach out. Those of us on this call may or may not know the details of that role. If we do, we'll talk to you about it. If we don't, we'll try to make a connection where we can.
Steve, thank you. And before we talk specifically about the process for how vets apply to you, let's take a second, and you say you've got some of your team members, and I'd like to give each of our companies a chance to introduce the team members with them. And again, you say you got, somebody from risk, somebody from another division. Can you introduce the folks, and again, just take 30 seconds or so what your name is and what you do at Macquarie for your team members. Go ahead, Steve, introduce them.
Sure. Yeah, I'll hand over to Gus first from our risk management group.
Thanks very much, Steve, and thanks for having Macquarie at this session. We've been partners for Edge of Vets for many years now, and we've always enjoyed meeting the people and sourcing candidates from this group. Risk management is a group that ensures that we are, looking at the things that could go wrong and putting the controls in place to make sure that they don't go wrong. It's not about avoiding risk. It's about managing risk in a very intelligent way and understanding the worst case risk outcome to understand what potential loss you can make. I think many of the skills that you bring as vets really fit the risk management mindset to anticipate, what is the objective that you want to achieve, what is it going to cost you, and what could go wrong. I sit in compliance, and we look at regulatory risk, things that could go wrong, from a conduct and behavior perspective. And I find that the skills that our vets have, lend the right mindset, for risk management. Over to you, Debbie.
Thank you, Gus. And we'll any vets for whom that rings a bell, we'll be able to connect you into Macquarie so you can pursue that. Steve, you have somebody else on the team?
Yep, over to Debbie.
Sure. So I'm also part of the risk management group. I'm head of the audit department for the Americas and the global portfolio lead for commodities and global markets. So I'm accountable for ensuring that all the controls that are in place that Gus has mentioned are working effectively, and I'm specific to the commodities and global markets and the operations teams, as well as a few of the risk functions.
Thank you, Debbie.
Sure.
Dan?
Next.
Yep, Dan. Dan on from Macquarie. Okay, moving to Bobby.
Hello everybody. I'm actually an alumni to this program. I currently work with e-discovery and surveillance. Essentially, within my role, I gather data for numerous groups within the company. I probably work with every group within the company at this point. We could receive requests from people who work in data, from people who work in human resources, as well as the business itself. Predominantly, we work with legal professionals for my role, and essentially the role is like all over the place when it comes to the skills needed to perform it. And I feel and hope that throughout the year, I've presented a good example as a veteran who could adapt to a whole new role and then fulfill the obligations or the responsibilities of the role.
Thank you, Bobby. And is that everybody from your team, Steve?
Just one more check. Dan Gantel, are you on?
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry. I'm having some technical difficulties. I'm not sure if anyone can see me, but I can see you all, at least the ones who are speaking. I'm Dan. I'm a member of Macquarie in our legal department. I cover the bank, our investment bank's financial advisory practice, and I'm a former Army officer, and I cover mostly M&A work, but also do a fair amount of other investment bank legal work like conflict management and contracts and agreements of that nature.
Thank you, Dan. And Steve, let me just put a fine point on it in terms of Bobby. Bobby, you're one of our shining stars. As you mentioned, you took Edge for Vets, you got hired by Macquarie, and you're doing great things. And we're grateful to you for coming back to help the new group coming along. So thank you for your participation. Steve, let me just say that, and this goes for all the companies, the vets are going to get the link to this career page. We see the cover for the career page on the website, but the vets are going to get that link, and they're going to get your contact information so they can come in to you. And one of the beauties of Edge for Vets, if I can say, is that, rather than having to apply online and go out into virtual no man's land and possibly never hear back after you apply, the chief benefit, vets, that you get by participating in Edge for Vets is you get connected to decision makers. So we're going to give you Steve's contact information, and you're going to be able to go into Steve if you have questions about the Macquarie career page and how to navigate it, etc. You'll have Steve as a contact, and then Steve can, like a hub out to the spokes, he can radiate you out to others from the team that you met today. So that's the system. That's how it's going to work with all of our companies. And Steve, I thank you for playing the lead role on that to get us going. Let me say, I've got right here a page for Pamela Weinberg. And before we talk about the rest of the companies, let me just give a special shout out of thanks to Pamela. She's been on the Today Show for her career, helping people develop what she calls a personal brand. In other words, how to take your strengths, the kind of strengths that we're talking about today, and to put them and to brand them, if you want. I'll let her explain that in a way that can move you forward and move you ahead of the line when you go for interviews. And Pamela has offered to provide free services, her services, to 3 of our vets. And the way it's going to work is that all of the vets who do a plan for success, and I'll explain this at the end how it will work, you're going to get, your name will go into a drawing, and we'll pick 3 of those vets, and everybody who makes the plan, you'll be automatically in the drawing to earn a chance to be one of the 3 that Pamela will work with to provide her branding. But I trust Pamela is there. And Pamela, if you could just take a second to explain, in 30 seconds or so, what branding is so that folks know.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me on today. I'm really looking forward to working with some of the vets on this. And, in listening to the Plan for Success, vision, values, and skills and action, putting all of those together in a hopper is really what makes your personal brand. So everybody participating in this is going to be well on their way to creating a brand. And what I help people do is really put all those together and figure out the best way to communicate your brand to important decision makers. If you're going on a job interview, if you're putting together your LinkedIn profile, or any type of social media, whether you're verbally meeting someone for an informational interview or wanting to talk about yourself, I help people gain the skills and confidence to really be able to talk about who they are and what they bring to the table for a potential job, to be hired.
Thank you, Pamela. And 3 of our vets will get a chance to work with you personally, but I'll work with you also on putting together an information sheet that can communicate branding to all of the vets in the cohort, so everybody can get some of the benefits of your wonderful work helping people to move forward. So thank you for that. I'm not sure your dad, Sander Flaum, is one of the top supporters of Edge for Vets, been with us since 2011, has helped us grow to this stage. And I don't know if he's on the call today, but if he is, I just wanted to give him a shout out. Is Sander there today?
He's not. He's unfortunately not here today, but he sends his best regards to everyone and, loves the program. And of course, will continue to be a supporter, mentor, et cetera. He couldn't make it on today, unfortunately.
I'll say, give our best to him. He's one of the top marketing executives in the pharma industry. So we're grateful for all that he does for us. All right, let me go back now to Denise Koster for Federal Reserve Bank of New York. I trust Denise is there. The same way that Steve talked about his company, I'd like you to talk about Federal Reserve Bank of New York. You're the team leader for that, Denise. And if you've got members on your team, you can introduce them. Let me go ahead and put up your career page. All of the vets will get this link, but why don't you go ahead and talk about Federal Reserve Bank, the kinds of job openings that exist, and a process that vets can use to apply for jobs that can lead.
Yeah, sure. No, thank you for having me here today, Tom. I'm really happy to be part of this. I think a lot of people have heard of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, but not a lot of people understand what that means in terms of jobs or exactly what the Federal Reserve does. So I'm going to give a very quick overview, like really quick. I know I have 3 to 5 minutes, but for those who are not familiar, we're the central bank of the United States, and we are decentralized across the country, 12 Federal Reserve banks, a board of governors in Washington. And what we do is we promote full employment, stable pricing. Essentially, we support the public interest in economic stability and growth at the national, local, and international levels. We are not federal employees. We are nonpartisan, and we are independent of political pressure. We're not funded by the federal government, but we are funded rather by our work related to the buying and selling of government securities and other financial services that we provide to financial institutions and other authorities. Here at the New York Fed, we're very unique in that we have some critically important responsibilities within the Federal Reserve System. We implement monetary policy. I'm going to explain that a little bit. We supervise among the largest financial institutions in the country. We manage foreign accounts. We operate the nation's payment systems. And what's really essential to our mission is the public trust. And I think that's really important for me to mention because as employees of the Federal Reserve, that's really what we live as a mission every day. So just hopping back to monetary policy, because people hear that all the time and I think, well, what kind of job would I have in monetary policy? But what it is essentially is the actions that the Fed takes to influence the availability of money and credit. And it's implemented by what's called our markets group. And through monetary policy implementation, what we seek to achieve is full employment and stable pricing and controlling inflation. All those good things. And we do that by adjusting interest rates. We influence the amount of money banks can lend, and we either buy or sell government securities to influence the money supply. So long story, but essentially our staff makes a contribution to all of this in the development of monetary policy by the analysis that they do on domestic and international markets, on developments in the markets, on issues in the development, and issues in the markets, I should say. And so they really do play a critical role in financial stability for the United States and globally, I would say, by identifying potential risks and helping to develop policy responses. Individuals in our markets group generally fall into a couple of different broad categories, but I'm oversimplifying to say that many people are very analytical and they might be involved in research and market analysis and data preparation, data visualization, creating narratives to go with the data analysis, and sort of reviews of economic and financial conditions. On the operations side of markets, people might be involved in executing securities trades, funds transfers, settlement services, and those support monetary policy, but they also do that in support of foreign and international money authorities. So when we're interviewing candidates for these kind of critical jobs, we're looking for candidates, that would have an understanding of the financial markets. So for these kinds of roles, that is important. They'd have to know economic principles, understand essentially what monetary policy is. And many of these jobs, like many other jobs at the Fed, look for people who are comfortable in data manipulation. I know Pedro mentioned statistics and data. We look for people who are comfortable using Excel or SQL, who use data visualization tools like Excel or Tableau, or maybe have done programming in Python or MATLAB. And then, just moving quickly on to our supervisory role, it's a core responsibility in that we see to the safety and soundness of financial institutions in our district. Each of the banks does that in their own districts. That's called our supervisory responsibilities. And we basically do on-site assessments and off-site analysis and surveillance of domestic banking institutions, the operations of foreign banks, and other large, what we call systemically important banks and non-banks. And so the staff that do that work are called bank examiners, and they're responsible for analyzing current and emerging risks and developing perspectives from those examinations. And so it could be financial risk, credit risk, liquidity risk, IT risk, cyber risk, operational risk. All of these types of analysis are conducted by our bank examiners. And so people ideally would have an interest in and a knowledge of the financial industry, but really strong quantitative skills. Anyone who might be looking to get a CFA or a CPA, excuse me, I have to take a sip of water, I'm talking fast. Or anyone with a cyber-related certification might also be interested in that kind of work.
Well,
I'm sorry, I'm not sick. It's
no. Now
it's allergies.
Now that we have you all refreshed there, let me, first of all, fascinating stuff, Denise. Thank you for sharing. And again, the vets are going to get a link to this career page. Can you take a second before we move to the next company, though, and just talk in terms of this career page? And as vets have been listening to you today, talk about the kind of work that you do at the New York Fed. Can you talk about how they might navigate this career page, specific job opportunities with you?
Yeah, sure. So, you know, it's broken down into experienced careers and early careers. And so you know, depending on where you are in your career, you might look at one or the other, but I suggest you look at both. The early careers page might have things that are more programmatic for the job seeker, where there's more training going on. So for instance, for bank examinations that I discussed, or for analyst positions in our markets group. So both are routes to opportunities.
Great, and so that's, you're getting connected to I call them the decision makers. Denise is in the talent area, so you're getting plugged in right to the person who can help you navigate to find a job career.
And I also just want to mention, Tom, I think this is important to mention. You know, there are opportunities like any other organization in project management, data management, operations, but it's also important for me to mention our law enforcement component. So for those who are not specifically inclined to go to economics or finance or aren't oriented towards data, we hire generally annually for our uniformed Federal Reserve Law Enforcement Academy. So that's another avenue for people.
Great. And again, all the vets participating in this cohort are going to get your contact information. You, just as all of the company contacts, are going to get the list of contact information for all the participating vets. So you can go through that list and reach out and send them inquiries from you and create a bridge that way. So thank you, Denise. Let me go to next company, Standard Chartered Bank. Andy already, who is our coordinator. But Andy, if you would like to take it here, I'm going to put your career page up for Standard Chartered Bank. But why don't you take a second, as Steve did, and I know you've got members of your team with us today. And if you could just take a second, introduce us to members of your team who are providing support for our vets, and they can say, you know, in 10 or 15 seconds who they are and what they do. That'd be great.
Okay, perfect, Tom. So Standard Chartered Bank, we are an international bank. Our core markets are Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. In the US, we have a presence in New York, New Jersey, San Francisco, and Houston. On the line today, I have colleagues representing many of the different segments within the bank. And I think one of the biggest benefits for the participants today is that you get to learn a little bit about the different businesses that we have. In the US, our main focus is corporate and financial institutions, corporate clients. I am an executive director in our corporate, commercial, and institutional banking team. I've been with Standard Chartered 6 years, and I would say it's a wonderful place to work. And I think the people make a big difference, and hopefully the vets will see that with my team members that they'll be meeting today. So on the line with us today, I'll go through them very quickly. We have Steve Monroe, who is our Global Head of Sanctions. Steve, are you on the line?
I am on the line. Camera should be coming on in a second. There I am. Hi, I'm Steve Monroe. I am an Army veteran. I am, as Annie said, the Global Head of Sanctions Compliance. I also have within my portfolio our global financial crime investigations and intelligence teams. And we are responsible for identifying, investigating, and ultimately mitigating the bank's exposure to financial crime risk across our network. We have an extensive network across the globe. We're primarily, in many places, an emerging markets bank, connecting emerging markets to developed markets, which gives us a fascinating exposure to different economies, cultures, business practices, and unique exposure to different types of financial crime risks. So it's a really exciting part of the bank, and constantly encountering new issues tied to both compliance risks, regulatory requirements, the business environment, how business evolves and changes across multiple economies, and ultimately what that means to our ability to detect and mitigate risk to the bank. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for your service and being a vet and coming back and providing support.
Okay, Tom, on the line, and thank you, Stephen. On the line, we also have Sanjay Ketkar, who is our head in the Americas for Integrated Middle Office. And I'll give the heads up to all the vets on the workshop today. He is hiring, so a key person to spend some time with today. Sanjay, are you on the line? Okay, so we'll circle back to Sanjay. I know he did message me and said he joined, so I think he might be having some communications issues. On the line, we also have Jeremy Mitchell, who's an associate director in our CEO's office as well. Hey, Jeremy, can you say hi?
Yeah, hi, everyone. Happy to be here. Thanks, Annie. Yeah, I've been with Standard Chartered about 3 years now, close to 3 years. Closely with the CEO of the Americas, who just actually got promoted to CEO of Europe and Americas. And I work closely with his business manager, and a lot of the day-to-day, I would say, is project management, strategy, and kind of working in between the bankers who support, big names like Apple, Amazon, Google, Walmart. We work with other financial institutions like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. Basically, we are huge in the Europe, Asia, Middle East, and Africa regions. And we're kind of like the go-between between those type of companies that want to build out and scale out, their business operations in those regions. So my day-to-day is kind of just working closely with the bankers, working closely with the CEO to make sure that we kind of get through the day-to-day, implement the strategy, and make sure we move any bottlenecks so that, the bank can run smoothly.
Thank you. And Annie, I'll let you continue, but let me just make a point for all of the vets today. We're spending time on this, but you see that these are folks who are going to actually help you navigate to learn about the opportunities with our companies. So again, Jeremy, thank you for your thoughts, and Annie, I'll back out and leave it to you.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Hey, Annie.
Sanjay?
Yeah, I was on, but I didn't realize that I had to unmute myself on the Zoom separately. Okay, so hi, everybody. My name is Sanjay Ketkar, and I manage the IMO Americas here, Integrated Middle Office. Our team is basically working on onboarding new clients, making sure that the client due diligence or the know your customer KYC is performed to the best of the standards for meeting with the US regulations, as well as the bank's policies and procedures. We also help opening the accounts for the client so that they can transact with us. And basically, we also in IMO Americas we help processing the credit documentation of our customers. So it's a broad framework of this team, and it's great to connect with you folks on this one, and looking forward to collaborating and interacting with you.
Thanks, Sanjay. Glad you were able to say hi. On the line, we also have Divshika Mahajan, who is part of our financial markets sales team.
Hi all, apologies. I am working in the office, so I don't have a camera here, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I specifically work in the commodity sales team, where our main role is to help clients find the best way to manage any commodity exposure that they have. So this includes precious metals, base metals, energy, and agriculture. Overall, in financial markets, there are different opportunities. There's sales, similar to what I've spoken about, and there's different asset classes which you can join. So there's foreign exchange, credit, rates, and so forth. Additionally, there's trading, in which they help manage the risk of financial markets. So within commodity sales, the role involves building relationships with the treasury teams and traders of large corporations and financial institutions, as Annie had mentioned earlier, finding solutions to help them manage their commodity exposure and keeping them updated with things that move commodities markets, as well as assisting them with any trades they'd like to execute. As an example, airlines, they worry about the price of fuel increasing, so we can help them find solutions to manage their exposure to the price of fuel. I think the role, some things and qualities that are important include, enjoying building relationships with people, having good interpersonal skills, and just being interested in what's happening in the news and what moves markets, as well as being proactive and driven. Thanks, Annie.
Thank you. Also with us today, we have Casey Balashin, who is our head of our commodity sales team.
Hi, thank you, Annie. I'm happy to be here today. It's my first time working with Edge for Vets, but I think it's a great organization, so I'm happy to be involved, and thank you all for having me. I am an executive director in our financial markets business. As Annie mentioned, I manage the commodity sales team. Deepshika is part of my team, so I think she gave you a pretty good overview of what we're doing within commodities and the broader financial markets business. It is the sales and trading side of the business within the investment bank. And so, I have actually worked with a lot of vets over the years in these types of roles. And some of the qualities that really have made people successful in these roles, it tends to be a fast-paced and often high pressure working environment as you're watching markets daily and trying to react to them. It's very detail oriented as you have to focus on pricing and getting understanding the underlying product. And it takes a lot of teamwork as well. You have to work very well with your, your sales, you work with your trading counterparties, you work with the other departments within the organization, and also relationship, particularly on the sales side, it's important to have, good relationship skills to build relationships both with external clients and internal groups within the bank. So I do see this a lot in the vets that I've worked with, bringing these skills to the table and really excelling in these roles. So certainly happy to speak more for those who are interested.
Thanks, Casey. With us, we also have Fred Davis, who was part of our capital markets team.
Hey, thanks, Annie. So my name's Fred Davis. I head up our DCM franchise on the financial institutions business in the Americas. And so we provide debt capital market advice to our clients. This includes banks, insurance companies, and non-bank financial institutions. And we're in the business of helping our clients raise debt, borrow money in the public markets. For Standard Chartered specifically, a lot of what we do is trying to connect our clients in the Americas, both North and South America, with investors in Asia. So that could be in Hong Kong or Singapore or Taiwan. And I think a lot of the skills that have been discussed on the call, being meticulous, attention to detail, focus on minor details, that would all carry you very well in the DCM team. Ultimately, it's still a relationship business, but on top of that, we're trying to guide our clients to the best markets that suit their needs. So very happy to be a part of the process and look forward to working with you.
Any more, Annie?
Yes, Tom, we have quite a big group today from Standard Chartered. We have with us today also Stanley Oliver, who's part of our FX and commodities team as well. Okay, so also from the team, we have Benjamin Moody, who is part of our financial crime compliance team, specifically working in correspondent banking. Benjamin, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here just starting on my video.
Thanks.
I don't know if you can see me or not. Here we go. Anyway, hi, I'll get started. First time working also with Edge for Vets. Pretty excited to be involved in this opportunity for us as well. I'm actually a veteran of the Israel Defense Forces, not the U.S. military. I'm the first person in my family not to serve for the U.S. military, so I got a lot of flack for that from my dad and everybody else. But anyway, so yeah, I work in the financial crimes compliance space. Particularly, I work on helping onboard some of our foreign banking clients, corporate clients as well. This involves doing financial crime risk reviews of these clients and then presenting them to our U.S. management, making recommendations on whether to proceed with onboarding such clients. I'm actually new to this team. Previous to this, at Standard Chartered, I was in the financial crime investigation space as a team lead over there, conducting anti-money laundering investigations. But yeah, it's a quick synopsis. I'm looking forward to working with everyone. We have quite a few people in our FCC space, military veterans. I don't know, I guess the protecting the bank from risk maybe translates from protecting our country from risk as well. So maybe some parallels there, but there's definitely a pretty high representation of veterans in the financial crimes compliance space.
Thanks, Benjamin. And Tom, I believe we have one more. Hopefully I didn't forget anyone. We have Giovanni Sanchez on the line, who's part of our transaction screening operations team.
Great, thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Giovanni Sanchez. I have been with Standard Chartered Bank for 7 years, and I'm also an Army veteran. I'm based out of the San Francisco office, managing the transaction screening team. My team review wire transfers for financial crime risks. We work closely with our financial crime compliance team to ensure we mitigate risk for the bank. And as Benjamin said, our country as well. I'm happy to be here and look forward to working with everyone.
Annie, can I say thank you?
You're very welcome, Tom. You know, we're always very happy to support Edge for Vets. It's very personal to me. And within Standard Chartered, we have an massive amount of support from our senior management. They absolutely support Edge for Vets, and they encourage all of our staff to participate and to hire from the program when we identify candidates. And I'm sure that we have a great group of vets today, and we're all very excited to meet you all.
We have a very great group, a very talented group, and I want to thank everybody on your team for describing what they did, because that gives a window into the kind of opportunities that our vets can pursue. So they will have your contact information, Annie, and we'll put them in touch with you to bridge to you. And again, thank you to you and the bank for all of your leadership. Let me go to New Jersey Transit. Next, I think we have Valerie Green with us. Let me just share that New Jersey Transit is eager to lead an expansion of Edge for Vets into New Jersey. And that's the career page for New Jersey Transit. Valerie Green from the HR department has been working with us. And I'm going to ask if Valerie is there, if you could just say a quick hello and describe for folks how they can learn about Jersey Transit jobs.
Hello, everyone. My name is Valerie Green, and I'm the Director of HR Administration at New Jersey Transit. New Jersey Transit is a transportation agency, and we do have areas that are very keen for military or veterans. Majority of, ironically, a lot of our employees are veterans in some sort, and they were able to adopt a lot of the mechanisms, time and efficiencies, and certain things that are very important to our metrics because they have a lot of that training that they've acquired during the military timeframe. So on-time performance is a major factor for us, whether it's on the bus side, the rail side, and you get a lot of that training definitely during your military career. So I think this will be a great opportunity for anyone who's interested to come on board and join transportation. We do have several positions. I'm sorry, Tom, if you can X this survey out, and if you can go to the actual link where you can check out what opportunities that we do have vacant at this moment. I do want everyone to know that because we're a rearing end for 2020, that come 2021, we are expecting to have over 400 positions that will be coming down the pike. So we know in advance right now that we will be seeing a large influx of vacancies. And that's a good thing for you all who's interested in coming on board or exploring some opportunities that we do hold. Even if you don't see it currently on our page, that is something that we will be having in the future. So be sure to consistently check and see what's vacant and what's coming down, because we will have a lot of openings. If you can check out this actual new NJ Transit, it'll help you understand the new direction that transit's going in. We had a previous administration prior to our current governor in New Jersey. There were a lot of changes and differences once our new governor came in, and we've been tasked with revamping the organization and bringing it up to this, day and age and this time. So part of that is where all of these vacancies are coming from, as well as some of the strategic plans that we do hold. As far as the veterans in New Jersey goes, because I know that we're kind of the outliers here from transportation. I know MTA is on, and we are looking to specifically spearhead, hey Alita, we're looking to specifically spearhead a program in New Jersey, hopefully for spring of 2021. And Tom, correct me if I'm wrong here, but we are looking to do something specifically for New Jerseyans and for veterans who are in the New Jersey area to come on and be a part of our team.
Thank you, Valerie. You're absolutely right. We'll be working with you and your COO and your other members of your team to plan for a expansion of Edge for Vets into New Jersey in the spring of 2021, led by New Jersey Transit. I can tell you that I'm very excited to hear that you've got 400 jobs that you're looking forward to opening. We have 40 to 50 vets in this cohort. They're hearing from the banks and from financial institutions like Macquarie, et cetera, from others. And there are opportunities in that realm, certainly. But for those folks interested in transportation, possibly they either live in New Jersey or they would like to work in New Jersey, we can start that connection process to you now. So I'll work with you on that. All of the vets will be getting your contact information to follow up with you.
Yep.
And saying that, I'm sorry.
Yes, and I do want to make everyone aware that although we are a transportation agency, it does not mean that you're only succumbed to transportation jobs. We do have different areas. I mean, it's a complete ecosystem in order for transportation to operate and fully run service. So we do have engineering departments, we have financial departments, we have, geographic departments, depending on, geographic projects and whatever it is that we're interested in developing. We have all the admin areas. It's a huge ecosystem that allows for all of our trains and buses to be out there for customers to take advantage of. So I don't want to deter anyone to thinking that, okay, you only have to go for bus or you only have to go for rail opportunities. You can go into police force because we do have New Jersey Transit Police as well. There is just a huge network. So I really strongly encourage everyone to just check out our website and just surf through it and see what opportunities that would be interest to you, and work with Tom and myself, and we'll see what we can do.
I like that. Yes, they'll all be getting a link to your career page, a link to you. And I like the term ecosystem because in addition to Jersey Transit, you've got contractors that you have contact, and we'll be bringing them into the loop too. So
correct.
Let's come to this side of the river for MTA. I know we have Aleda with us. Aleda, if you would just take a second, and I'm sure it's probably very similar. You've got, MTA is transit, but you've also got, as Valerie said, jobs along supply chain and other kinds of jobs. So why don't you just talk about the career opportunities at MTA?
Absolutely. So as Valerie said, I'm sure, and I said, Valerie, how much do you, when you go to a party and you say you work for New Jersey Transit, they assume you're selling tokens.
Correct.
Or you're like driving the train, right?
Yes.
Or
a bus.
And they assume I'm driving a bus. And
right.
Absolutely, we do have those opportunities. However, but we hire IT folks. We have over 1,000 people who work in our IT group, and we're always looking for cybersecurity specialists. So because again, we're doing a lot of cash transactions, we're doing credit card transactions. We want to make sure that the information from our customers is safe. We hire engineers, architects, construction managers. Valerie's like just shaking her head, go, yeah. Safety specialists. We also have our own, the MTA police. We have enforcement. We have safety specialists. So for example, if you're in the military and you have NBC experience, we hire safety specialists along those lines too. And so we have a wide variety of opportunities. And of course, we are not doing this because this is a charity. We're doing this because this is smart business sense. We look for people who understand on-time performance. We look for people who know how to work in teams. For instance, at New Jersey Transit, am I right, Valerie? No one goes on the tracks by themselves, correct?
No, absolutely not.
And my life is in your hands. If I'm fixing that rail tie.
Absolutely.
And you're my spotter.
Absolutely.
That team spirit is very much a part of you working in a depot or a yard. It is inherently dangerous environment. So I have to be able to, I have to have situational awareness, and the people around me have to have situational awareness. And so it is a natural fit for our military folks to come and work here. And so it's not the military, but it's a very paramilitary function. So that being said, the past 6 years, the MTA has hired 1,400 service members, and we want to hire more. So that's why we're here for Edge for Vets. And we also do things a little bit because we've slowed down in our hiring. Later this month, I've partnered with LinkedIn, and they're going to do a free LinkedIn seminar for any veteran or any veteran spouse. Contact me. I will gladly send you the link to sign up. We are also doing a seminar on how to write your resume on Microsoft Word. So I've partnered with Microsoft to do this. So feel free. I will gladly share this, and also be on my email list, and I will share this stuff with you. And we are so crazy that New Jersey says that the Port Authority and we work together. Oftentimes we share resources. So oftentimes, if you're on my mailing list, I'll send you something from the Port Authority, even though we are rivals for talent, because you know why? It's above and beyond that we are New Jersey and New York. We are American, and we're here to help any service member who wants to find employment. So that is what I have to say in just 2 minutes.
Thank you, Alita, for that final comment about, helping veterans. Our whole purpose is to help veterans get a job. As we go through the list today, you can see veterans. There is a broad range of job opportunities as you do your vision statement, and you get clarity on where you want to aim your skills and your values. We've got a broad array for you, and you will get contact information for everybody that you're meeting today. Thank you, Alita. Let me say, also, we're working with New York City SHRM. I'm not sure if John McCaffrey is with us today, but New York City SHRM is the HR representative organization that has contact with many different companies, including many nonprofits. And I know profits as well as nonprofits, but Fiserv and Meg Hendricks is, I believe, with us today. And if you would like to take a second, Meg, and just talk about Fiserv.
Hey, Tom, this is actually Adam Schmidt from Fiserv.
Okay. If you could just take a minute, Adam, and just give us a sense of what your company does.
Yeah, so I'd be happy to. I lead campus and military recruitment for Fiserv. So we are in the fintech space, have several roles in the New York Metro, New Jersey, as well as nationwide, but a global company for 44,000 associates strong. So several opportunities in the tech, finance, business space if you're looking for a position. We have several internship and entry-level analyst positions that we're going to be hiring for starting after the beginning of the year. So those are currently posted on our job web website. We actually have a veterans webpage in addition to this, but if you go to the career site up at the top, you can navigate there. So again, a lot of different technology pieces or roles that would play into our overall business model, again, in the financial technology space, supporting large financial institutions, banks, but also small businesses with our Clover device, which is very similar to Square, direct competitor to Square. So you'll see the Back to Business campaign that we've got here going on right now. But again, several internship and early career analyst positions, as well as experienced hires, are going to be posted currently on our website. We have a military affiliated analyst program as well, which is kind of targeted for veterans, military spouse, Guard and Reserve members with less than 3 years of corporate work experience and a bachelor's degree. So if that is of interest to you, would strongly encourage you to go out to our website and apply today.
Thank you, Evan. I'll be in touch with you to link you into everybody as well, you and Meg.
Fantastic.
Let me say, is John McCaffrey there from New York City, SHRM? I know John was going to try to join. I just want to give a shout out to him for his leadership, helping us make contacts. And let me just say, as we get ready to wrap up here today, I want to do a final group discussion and give everybody a chance to weigh in on this. Here's the point, folks. The virus crisis has caused enormous disruption to lives. It's caused unemployment to spike dramatically in general, but unemployment for vets has spiked higher even than the national average for just the general unemployment rate. Vet unemployment is running ahead of the national rate. So what we're focused on in Edge for Vets is bringing together our companies. And by the way, I just want to thank all of those folks from our companies today who spoke and talked about opportunities with you, because it's that employer network side that is really the destination that we're aiming for. On the veteran side, we do the preparation to teach you to translate your strengths, and then we connect you to the employer side. We could not do this without all of you employers. Again, I thank you for talking about your work so that the vets could get insight to the opportunities that exist. And again, let me say, I said it earlier, very often today, veterans, they want to work, they go online, they apply online because everything is online, but they don't know anybody, they don't have a network. So very often they won't hear back, and enormous frustration and anxiety can build, especially during this virus crisis with unemployment spiking. And if you apply online and you never hear back, well, Edge for Vets is the tonic for that. That's what we're seeking to do. And that's why I'm so grateful to all of our folks from the companies who spoke today about opportunities, because your real live decision-making contacts that we are now going to be connecting our vets to you so that they can have a person on the other end when they go to your website and your career page. So that's the special value that you get. What I would like to do as we get ready to pull the whole program together and wrap up this connection session, I'd like to offer a group discussion where you see vets, there's a question for you talking about using your military values and skills. Now, the whole front end of Edge for Vets was giving you a chance to take the online course so you could gain clarity on what your values and skills were and put them into statement form that could be an expression of those values and skills that would give you an edge when you go into an interview. But what I'd like to do is give the vets a chance to talk about how, now that you've identified your values and skills, how can you propose, and you've got a lot of folks here who make decisions and do hiring. They're listening to you. If there's a vet who would like to share how you could propose to use your values and skills to perform at a high level. And before I open the floor to give a vet a chance to talk about that, here is the video from the online course called the Action Statement video. This pulls together the whole plan for success. I'm going to share it today. Just takes a couple of moments, and then we're going to go back to our discussion.
There is no happiness without action, said William James. And the same is true in searching for a job. There can be no success without action. In this video, we'll show you how to pull everything together, including your values and skills, to create an action statement. Action is the payoff for the time you've invested in the translation process. Action is your ace of spades. Let's recap. In step one, you created a strong vision statement, which identifies the work you want to do for the career and the life that you want. Your vision statement is your ace of hearts. It reflects your passion. Next, you created an ace of diamonds, your value statement, to show companies that you have the values they are seeking. Then you created a skill statement, your ace of clubs. In combination, your values and skills reflect your leadership strengths and form an unbeatable asset, one that can set you apart in a job interview. But to seal the deal, to add an ace of spades, you need an action plan. Here's how to create a strong action statement. Print out your values and skills statements. Set them side by side and tell how you plan to combine your military values and skills to perform at a high level in whatever work you choose. That's action. You don't have to know who your employer is going to be at this point. You just have to know how you can apply your values and skills to perform at your peak. Your action statement is your ace of spades because that's what interviewers want to hear from you. They want you to tell them how you will use your asset, your military values and skills to excel at the work that you choose. Again, let's go to the circle for success. Your values and skills are your leadership strengths. They combine to give you a powerful asset. Your action statement communicates how you plan to put those values and skills into action, which in turn will put you on a path to achieving your vision. As we said earlier, you may well change your vision statement by the end of this process. You may well give it more definition before you submit it to us, but that's a good thing. Determining what you want in life, not what you think you want or what somebody may want for you, that's a lifelong process. The goal of Edge for Vets is to get you jump-started. And once you go through this strengths translation process, once you finalize and submit your plan for success, you'll be holding all the cards. In this case, 4 aces to gain an edge in the jobs marketplace. Okay, let me say an edge in the jobs marketplace. Your values and skills are your asset. Is there a vet who would like to pull it all together for us and tell us how you know you have values and skills, you've taken the online course, you've explored what your values and skills are, you've articulated them into a statement. Any vet that would like to tell us how you can use your values and skills to perform at a high level, your values and skills from the military?
I'll talk if you'll let me.
Yes, please.
Okay. My name is Craig Antonio Jones, and the idea of any job that I ever had.
Go ahead, Antonio.
The idea that I had of is never leaving anyone behind and always doing everything at a high level. I hear somebody else. And it's always been, it's inherent in every veteran. And even if I don't know a veteran, I know that veteran is going to take care of me, is going to understand me, is going to work well together. And despite any adversities or difference in cultures or anything, we all come together as one to make sure that the job is done. And I'm trying to plug myself to Valerie and Aleda, electronics equipment maintainer. I'm already in the system. And then Valerie Green, TVM, telebending, and TVM. But we'll talk about that sooner. So remember the name, remember the face. And I love to help. That's what I do.
Greg, let me just say, this whole idea is to give you a chance to plug yourself. So you're spot on. This is exactly, it does exactly.
I'm ready to go.
And let me say also, you did, I think, a wonderful job. If I understood you correctly, and by the way, you're speaking for all of the vets on the call today, when I say you have an asset, your military values and skills are your asset. You developed them in the military. You can use them for success in the civilian sector. And I asked you, Craig, to share how you could do that. And you said something that was very interesting to me anyway, if I understood you correctly. You talked about being able to work as a team. You can work with other people. I think you mentioned, different cultures or different people from different walks of life. You can get along because you were in the military and you learned how to do that in the military. You developed that as a skill. That becomes a transferable skill that now when you go into an interview, I'm going to urge you not to change a word. You said it beautifully, I thought, that you have this skill to work with others, and you can go, yes, you did it in the military, but now you can go if you want to work for Jersey Transit or MTA, or you want to work for somebody, you can bring that skill, that ability to work with others. And so you highlighted exactly what I was looking for. The fact that you developed certain skills in the military, values and skills that are transferable, and no matter what duty you had in the military, you can apply those in any range of ways in the civilian sector. So thank you for doing, I want everybody who is a vet creating a plan for success to learn from you, because that is an action statement that you offered, and I would encourage everybody to learn from you. Let me segue from that before we wrap up by giving our mentors, somebody from the company side, weigh in on this idea. You see, the question is, tell how your company can value vets who can bring values and skills with them to your company. How can tell how your company looks for veterans because they have values and skills that they can bring to you, and you as a company value that. Is there anybody on the company side who would like to weigh in?
I think I can do this. When I was hired into this position specifically as a e-discovery and surveillance associate, essentially the job is not even taught in colleges. It's only taught in 5% of colleges around the world. And what I had to bring with me was the ability to adapt. I'm really just gonna put it out there. While I was in the United States Marine Corps, I predominantly worked as an 0317. And within that role, I had to learn as much infantry skills as humanely necessary before even deploying my first year. I brought that portion of adaptability with me into the role that I serve now. And just, I don't know, we can ask my manager, did I prove myself this year with that adaptability concept or not?
Well, is Steve still with us? Steve, how's Bobby doing? Do you value Bobby is really the question, and do you value him for his military skills, and how?
Yeah, look, I would struggle to think of someone else I've worked with who came to the table with such an appetite to learn and prove himself. And that's I think a clear indicator of kind of, what Bobby learned in the military and what he brought from the military to the civilian sector. It was a long road for Bobby. We worked together for a while, and he, was very patient, and at the same, balanced patience and persistence while he was exploring opportunities in Macquarie. And I think that was part of what I saw as really valuable, right? That the resilience that he showed, exploring the opportunities, learning the skills that he needed to, was really impressive. And I think you're right around your 1-year anniversary, Bobby. Is that right?
Just passed it by a month.
Just passed it,
actually.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So Steve, you're speaking, I think, for all of the companies when you prove my point that vets have values and skills, and companies value them for that because they can bring those to the company. So let me pull the whole program together, sum it up this way.
Hey, Tom?
Yes, somebody wants to talk?
Hey, Tom, sorry, this is Ben Moody from Standard Chartered. One other thing, if I could just add, I think it's important for the vets also to try to cast a wide net and pursue things that sound interesting as far as job descriptions. Some of these jobs can sound intimidating, so especially in the financial space. All these different banking terms might not sound something you're familiar with, but as you said, vets come with a lot of transferable skills. And even if you don't feel you have a lot of those skills, we've taken on people that not necessarily have a strong banking background, and they've been proven to be able to apply those skills. So I think it's just important to throw that in there.
Thank you, Benjamin. And again, you're underscoring the point that our partner companies value vets. You're taking the course, but I just wanted you to understand that the companies value you for the values and skills that you can bring. And in summary fashion, let me just say that all of our participants have been invited. You've all gotten a link to the online course. Many of you have already completed it. Others are currently working on it. If you haven't started it yet, there will be 2 additional weeks that we're extending to all of the cohorts, vets in this cohort, to take the online course, log on, work at your own pace to take those 4 statements. Vision, values, skills, and action. Create statements in those areas. And you see on the left there, there's one of our vets, Aaron, holding his certificate, Edge for Vets certificate. Once you complete the course, you hit submit, and out prints a nice, lovely, clean copy of your plan for success that you then can attach to your resume and send to the contact folks that we're going to give you for our partner companies. And it's that, not just a resume, but it's having that plan for success that articulates your strengths, your values and skills in your own language. When you combine that with a resume, that's the thing that gives you the edge to get hired. So you're all going to have an additional, anybody who's finished it already, some of you already have your certificate of completion, but for anybody who has not yet completed it, you've got 2 additional weeks to do it. And then we will give you the contact information for our partners that you can send them a resume along with your plan. And I mentioned also that Pamela Weinberg, all those who at the end of 2 weeks complete the plan for success, we will do a drawing, and 3 of you will get an invitation to work with Pamela on that branding that Pamela talked about.
I have a question, Mr. Murphy.
Yes, please.
Does the Edge for Vets count as the cover letter, or do you want also a cover letter as well? I guess I'm asking everyone what's customary.
Craig, what you would do is you would make a cover letter and a resume on your end, and then we would give you the chance to create your plan for success, that when you print out that plan for success, or you have a digital copy, you attach that with your cover letter and resume. And it's that plan for success that gives you the extra dimension, because all of the folks that you met today on the call, all the folks from our partner companies, now will have your plan for success that articulates your vision, your values, your skills, and your action plan. And they have that, and they can read that in combination with your resume and have an extra window into the value you can bring. You see how the system works? So the value that you get from Edge for Vets is a chance to develop a plan for success. We don't follow up with you. We give you the chance to do it. You work at your own pace, you do it, you print it out, you see Aaron gets a certificate. That then goes with your resume to give you the edge. And we find that up to 8 out of 10 vets who do that, like Bobby, get hired. And that's what we're all about, getting you that job that can lead to the career. So you see it there in bold, by the way, on the summary page. We will send you the contact information for the reps at our partner companies, along with a copy of their website. So you get it. You had a chance to meet many of the folks from our companies today. You're going to get each of the companies with the website and the contact information for a lead person at that company, that as you go through the website and you explore the opportunities that may fit your particular skills and interests, you will then have a contact person to reach out to as well. And again, can you see the value of that? It's not a case of just applying online and never hearing back. You apply online, but you have a contact person to send them your plan for success and send them a note that you've applied. And our contact folks are paying particular attention to the Edge for Vets participants, so they're watching for you. So you see the role we play to connect you. And that was today's workshop, the connection piece. So you're going to get the contact information. Also, for any of our folks from the company side, we're going to send you the contact information for all of the 40 or 50 vets that are in this cohort. So you're going to have the contact information, and you can build the bridge from your end. A final note as I get ready to wrap up is, if you have not yet put your name and your email, along with whether you're a vet or a mentor, in the chat, please do so now, because this is how I'm going to be able to reach out to you and send you that contact information. And that's going to be the invaluable thing for you. So if you haven't done it in the chat, please do it now. one of the key things for us is we like to end on time, and we're right now at 2:30. So I would like to wrap up, but I will take indulge and ask for if anybody would like to take 30 seconds on our company side and just underscore for our vets how valuable they are to the civilian workforce and to your company. I would like to make that point so that the vets can see that they are valued, and we're working as hard as we can to help them, especially during the virus crisis. Is there anybody on the company side who would like to just take 30 seconds and underscore the value of vets?
Hey, Tom, can you hear me? This is Pat Curran.
Hey, Pat, please.
Hey, well, I was waiting for the others to jump in, but I'm sure they'll agree to this as well. We all feel it. The number one asset, of course, is you have to be able to solve that other person's problem that you're communicating with on the other side of it. When I see that look in their eye, that they're interested in solving the problem, the challenge, the responsibilities of the role, and be part of a team. When you see that and it comes through, man, you just don't see it as often as you would like. And, I think every military person knows this in our language. 3 things you got to do: create the plan, never quit, and fight like hell till it's done. Right. I mean, it's just like you just drive. When you sense that in the person within them, regardless of their technical skill, you just come across as a winner. So good luck to everyone on the call. And, if you need a mentor, my name is in the chat, just like everyone else's. Thanks, everyone.
But not only on the chat, Pat, they're gonna get your contact information along with all of our partner companies. You're the head of the vet program at Pfizer, so they're gonna get your contact information. Thank you for all that you do. One more shout out to all of the folks from the companies. Thank you so much for being part of this connection piece today. Normally we do this in a big room, and we have a chance then to follow up with beer at the end of it. But now we're doing this virtually. Hopefully when the world gets back on its axis, we'll have our connection workshop, be able to do it in person again. And we'll have a session like this where you can connect, and then we can cap it off with some beers and networking at the end. But we'll wait for the world to heal itself for that. In the meantime, I want to thank all of our companies for helping our vets during this trying time with the virus crisis to find employment. It's been a pleasure to work with all of you. Again, companies, you're going to get the vet contact information. Vets, you're going to get the contact information for the companies. I'm going to turn it over to you. You got 2 weeks to do your plan for success. Good luck to all of you. And when you do get hired, you let us know, and then we feature you as part of our success vets, okay? And Craig Antonio Jones, I see you there. We're gonna somebody's gonna snap you up.
Yes, we're gonna start a bidding war.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we'll be in touch via email. Thank you, everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
Bye.